So by the time you hit mid game, not everything you're doing is actually helping you progress. Some of it's just wasting time. And in this video, I'm going to show you what exactly is worth focusing on so that your progress stays consistent. So the thing that we're going to be focusing on is we're not doing random missions. We're doing these missions with the intention of coming out with some sort of result. These missions here, the randomly rotated missions, are specifically for getting specific external components, getting specific research materials that we need, while also getting us a decent amount of XP and weapon XP with a small amount of unique arcade factor. Make sure that we knock out at least 4 in order to get the $1 million gold a reward that's attached to it, and we get a decent amount of arcade factor up to 4 times. We're going to be focusing on either getting a specific character or gun if you're still looking for stuff like that, or we're focusing on crystallization catalyst blueprints or energy activator blueprints. Now what this is going to do is the energy activator blueprints, once you get up to a certain amount, is you're really not farming it anymore. You're looking for more of the crystallization catalyst blueprints. So we want our time invested to equal results. Farming everything is not the appropriate way of going about it. Hopping from mission over here to over there to trying to do everything. So the other thing that we're going to be focused on is that we want consistent rewards. Consistent rewards end up being we're going to target our items, go over here to an item, check on it, and then see, you can turn the tracking on or off to see which ones you're going to get. This is the tracking of the item. This is the targeted rewards. Targeted rewards is when I want to click on a weapon, I want the Afterglow sword. I come over here, I know it's a lot of button clicking, the acquisition info. I can set it as a targeted reward. More specifically, it's going to be I'm not going to be able to set it as target reward because I have my target rewards already maxed out. But when we do any of these activities or what have you, we're going to end up, let's do a more, there we go. So some of them can, some of them can't. We're going to be setting this as a targeted reward so that when we do Axiom planes at the underwater base on support mode or whatever, it's going to give us progress towards that. When we get progress towards that, this green bar at the bottom is going to fill up. If you receive it after the mission, it's going to reset the progress. If you haven't received it, it's going to eventually cap out at 100%. You are guaranteed to get it. Targeting these items on the side is keeping track of what you are actually needing to in order to build what you're trying to build. So crime and punishment is going to be using some of the, I want to say, the Kuiper bio adhesives. So I put that in there to know that I got 50 of them instead of looking for it in my inventory box. We want to focus on 2 reliable activities. Those 2 reliable activities are raising up our character and Sigma Sector. Raising up our character, Sigma Sector. Once we're done with Sigma Sector, that goes hand in hand with Axiom Planes, and that goes back to the dungeons. The Sigma Sector and the dungeons are going to give you a decent amount of unique arcade factor, but the dungeons are going to give you Iron Heart Particles, which is going to progress your little inversion reinforcement to max that out to 20 as quickly as possible. And then we don't want to chase everything. We want to super focus on some things. We want to focus on getting 3 characters up to snuff. Just 3 characters. So 3 characters, that's 9 weapons, and then that's 2, 4 times 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's 12. That's 12 specific external components. That's 3 specific reactors, getting our character up there. We don't want to be switching constantly. We want to farm with a goal. Next, we're going to be farming with a purpose, and we're going to stop when the when our time investment doesn't match what we're receiving. So if we're doing the Supermaster Receptive Dungeon and we have all the Harris pieces and we end up getting the Hive Master, unless you're playing it just for funsies, you need to stop doing that. You need to move on to a new dungeon. The focus farming that I've mentioned earlier in the video is going to be, you need to focus on what your character needs. So for like Ajax is going to be, it eludes me right off the top of my brain. It's going to be the Restored Relic. You're going to be focused on trying to get the cores for that. You're going to primarily, let's say, I would give you 3 characters. You want Viessa up, you want Bunny up, you want a Glade or an Ajax up. You want those 3 characters. A damage dealer, a class I killer, and a farm runner. Viessa is used for a lot of activities. Daya and Haley are supposed to be like the replacements for Viessa, but Viessa's been doing a good job at what she's been doing for a long time, which is smacking down ads in big AoE areas and moving fast at doing it. Ajax has been kind of at the level of Glay, bit more tanky, depending on your playstyle, what you want to look at, what you're trying to do. Glay and Ajax fill the same role. Ajax is a little slower than Glay, but that's perfectly fine. And Bunny, no one's replaced the face of the First Descendant for a very long time when it comes to farming. You can't go wrong with Bunny. She's unique for the Abyss boss, the Grim Reaper, so you're going to need her for that. And again, she's good for all farming runs. Bunny isn't getting a nerf. I think she's getting a buff later, so you can't go wrong with the mascot character. The weapons that you mainly want to focus on in the game is going to be the Restored Relic, the Exterminator, and the swords. Now, the swords are important because they're leaning really heavily on the melee aspect of it. But if you're going for Viessa, she doesn't really need a gun. The Restored Relic and the Exterminator are going to be for Glay and Ajax, and Bunny doesn't really need a gun, so that's nothing you really need to focus on. All the rest of the guns are flavor text for other characters. They're moving all the guns into a lane, like the Albion Cavalries for Haley. The Divine Punishment seems to be for a healer, but it's not really there yet. They already changed the Fallen Hope to fit more of a Freyna build, and they've put the Thunder Cage into like a very common area. The Last Dagger is good for Glay. You see what I'm going there? They're really tuning the weapons to be specific for Descendants, so you have more of a chase when it comes to utilizing a weapon with a Descendant. I think that's the right direction that they should go in. Always stay consistent in what you're trying to do. Stay consistent. When I mean stay consistent, are we focused on, let's look at it, are we focused on the unique RK factor? Where did it, oh, they moved it. Are we focused on the unique RK factor? We need to max this out. It takes a very long time to get this board up there. It takes a really long time for no reason. And are we focused on getting our character up to level 40? Are we looking to focus on our master rank? If we're looking to focus on our master rank, all the characters that I said can have their primary weapon. Let's say if it's Viessa, it would be the Hypernova. It wouldn't be Clairvoyance, but we can have other weapons in our inventory and our background leveling up as we level up our characters. So you want to constantly be rotating your weapons on this side, keeping your main weapon up there. Again, VS is a ability damage dealer, so getting her weapon up to a significant point is kind of whatever. But in my opinion, that's a little tangent from what I'm trying to tell you. Hypernova is one of the best weapons for her. Clairvoyance is a good backup when you run out of MP. So if you want a Clairvoyance kind of build, you can copy that while I keep going. So once your farming is efficient enough, and let's finish off this farming thing with one quick caveat with the new Onslaught mode. Onslaught mode is a good mode. Onslaught mode is very punishing. If your build is trash, it will show. You will get knocked down once you get past level 1. You get to level 2, you'll see how squishy you are and how bad you are at building. That's just a little, let's just throw that in there. If you don't like Onslaught mode, it's because your build is bad, and watch the rest of the videos on this channel. Once your farming is efficient, the next step is make sure that your setup isn't overcomplicated. Keep it simple. I'll break down that in the next video of how you can make your farming more efficient. Like, share, and subscribe to the video, and all of my build videos are going to be going to a members only page because they're not interacted with enough to be like publicly on the channel. So if you want to support it, hit the join button. If you like the channel and you want to see more First Descendant content, hit the subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next one.